Hello everyone, welcome to your maths class. In our last session, we discussed exercise 1.2 and understood different word problems. Today, we are going to understand our next topic, which is estimation. You sometime must have heard word approximate in news headlines or in your daily life also, that this is approximate to this or anything else. So that approximate is also a estimation. You can call it estimation or approximate. Both are same thing, or you can also call it round off. I think all the student knows what is the meaning of round off. You all must have done it in decimals or in your marks also. If you got marks like 2.5 or 2.3, so you round them off. So 2.5 is rounded off to 3 and 2.3 is rounded off to 2. Similarly, we do estimations for large numbers, or you can say estimation is a rough calculation of value and we use it for large numbers. So estimation is a rough calculation of value it is used for large numbers. You can also understand estimation by a simple example. If you want to arrange your birthday party at your home, so what is the first thing you do when this idea came to your mind? You estimate number of guests so that you can make all arrangements. So like that, we do estimation for large numbers or for different daily life scenarios. Now let's understand how we do this estimation with numbers. Firstly, we are going to estimate or you can say estimating to nearest tens. Now we have 10 natural numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now you need to identify numbers which are near to its perfect tens. If I ask you to estimate number 3 to nearest tens and number 7 to its nearest tens. So can you tell me, is 3 near to 10 or 0? 3 is near to 0. So whenever you have to estimate number 3, you will estimate it as 0. And 7 is near to 10. So 7 will be estimated as 10. So this means numbers from 0 to 4 are near to 0 numbers 6 to 10 are near to 10. So any number which is coming from 6 to 10, that will be estimated as 10. And number 0 to 4, that will be estimated as 0. Now we are left with this one number 5. This is equidistant from 0 and 10. You can see 1 is at 1 distant, 2 distant, 3 distant, 4 distant, but 5 is equidistant from 0 and 10. There are 4 numbers between 0 and 5, and again there are 4 numbers between 10 and 5. So 5 is equidistant from 0 and 10. So the numbers before 5 are all near to 0, and after 5 all are near to 10. Point is where this 5 will be calculated, or how this 5 can be estimated. Even though it is equidistant from 0 or 10, this 5 is always estimated as 10. Hope you understood. You can say one more thing for this, that numbers greater than 5 are near to their next 10, and numbers less than 5 are near to its previous 0. Let's take one more example. This is about 1 to 10. I told you that 2 will be estimated as 0, and 6, 7, 8, 9 all are estimated as 10. 1, 2, 3, 4 are estimated as 0. If we have a number (17), so how we will estimate it to nearest 10? Now see, this 7 is greater than 5. That means it will be estimated to its next 10. So what is near to 17? It will be estimated as 20. If the question is 13, so this 3 is less than 5, so it will be estimated as 10. Because previous to this 13, 10 is the 0. You can take 10 as 0 because it is nearest to 13. So this is how we do estimating to nearest tens. Or you can also understood it by this. Like we have numbers 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Again, as we did in 0 to 10, numbers 11, 12, 13, 14 will be estimated as 10. Numbers 16, 17, 18, 19 will be estimated as 20, because these numbers are near to 20 and these numbers are near to 10. And again, this 15 will be estimated as 20. So hope this may have cleared your doubt, cleared about estimating of nearest 10. Let's take some examples. (738). This needs to be estimated to nearest tens. So for this, what we will do, how we can solve it? When it is asked to estimate to nearest tens, we will always look for the digit which is on ones place. So in this example, at ones place, digit is 8. Now we know this 8 is greater than 5. So this will be estimated to 10. So when 8 is estimated to 10, for that we need to put 0 in place of 8. and add this 1 to this 3. So 3 plus 1 is 4 and this 7 will remain as it is. So this 738 will be estimated to nearest 10 to 740. You can understand it in one more way. We need to estimate 738 to nearest tens. So this 8 is at ones place, this 3 is at tens place, and this 7 is at hundreds place. So till tens, it is making a number 38. This is 38. And this 38, if you calculate it as I told you from 0 to 10 and 11 to 20, so that way 38 is nearest to 40. So when this 38 can be estimated to 40, so this 738 will become 740. In the same way, we can estimate any number to nearest 10. Let's take some other examples also. We need to estimate 1264 to nearest tens. So what we will do? We need to estimate it to nearest tens. So we will look for digit which is at ones place or units place. So this is 4. This 4 is less than 5. So this will be estimated to 0. 4 is near to 0. So 4 will be estimated as 0. So in this case, what we will do? This 1264 will be estimated as 1260. We will place 0 in place of 4 and this 6, 2 and 1 will remain as it is. So this is the absolute estimation. Or in the same another way also, we have 4 at units place or ones place, tens, hundreds and thousand, and we are estimating to nearest 10. So we have nothing to do with this thousand and hundreds place, so they will remain same. Up to tens and unit place, both in combination making it a number 64. And this 64 is near to 60 because this is less than 5. So this is near to 60. So what we will do? We will write 60 in place of 64. So it will be 1260. Moving on to estimating to nearest hundreds. As we were estimating to nearest 10, in the same way we will estimate to nearest 100. As we can see, numbers between 100 and 200. So all the numbers below 150 are near to 100 and numbers greater than 150 are near to 200. So they will be estimated to 200 and this 150 again will be estimated to 200. So this is the estimation to nearest 100. Let's take examples for this also. I'm taking same example. 738 Now it is needed to be estimated to nearest hundreds. For nearest hundred, we will look for the digit which is at tens place. When we were estimating to nearest tens, we were looking for the digit which is at units place. Now for nearest hundred, we will look for the digit which is at tens place. So this is 3 and it is less than 5. So this will be estimated to 0. So 3 will be replaced with 0. When 3 is already replaced with 0, so that means 8 is also 0 and it will be 7. So this 738 is estimated to 700 to its nearest hundreds. We can also estimate in that another way. This 738 is lying between 700 and 800, but this is less than 750. So this will be estimated to 700. If we had any number more than 750, suppose it is 787, then this number will be estimated as 800. Another example, 898. We need to estimate to nearest hundreds. So we will look digit which is at tens place. So this 9 is at tens place. This 9 is greater than 5. So this 9 will be 10. Estimated to 10. Now for this 10, what we will do? We will replace this 9 with this 0. And this 1 will be added to this 8. 8 at hundreds place. So 8 plus 1, this will be 9. And this 8 will also be 0. When we are replacing 9 as 0, so this 8 will also be replaced as 0. So if this 898 estimated to 900 to nearest 100. By that view also you can see this 898 lies between 800 and 900. And this 898 is greater than 850. So this is estimated to 900. Now estimating to nearest thousands. This will be done in same ways. So numbers lying between 1000 and 1500 will be estimated to 1000 because numbers are less than 1500. These are near to 1000 and numbers greater than 500 are near to 2000. So they will be estimated as 2000 and this 15,000 will be estimated as 2000. Example for this. We need to estimate 5,439 to nearest 1000. The first way, when we are talking to nearest 1000, that means we will look the digit which is at hundreds place. So here it is 4. So this 4 is less than 5. So this 4 will be estimated to 0. So when 4 is estimated to 0, so this 4 is become 0. And this 5 will remain as it is, and next 2 digits will also be 0. So this is estimated to 5,000. If we see it in second way, so this number is between 5,000 and 6,000. This 5,439 lies before 5,500. So this is less than this. So it will be estimated to 5,000. By estimating these numbers, we can do additions, we can do multiplications also. To estimate sum or difference means we can estimate any sum or any difference also by estimating numbers that to be added or that to be subtracted. So let's take an example. Estimate 5,290 plus 17,986. So for estimating the sum of these two numbers, firstly we will estimate 5,290. So we can see 5,290 is near to 5,000. And this 17,986, it is near to 18,000. So this 5,290 is estimated to 5,000 and 17,986 is estimated to 18,000. Now we will add this 18,000 and 5,000. When we add this, the answer or sum is estimated sum. We call it estimated sum. In the same way, we can do difference also. Firstly, we will estimate both numbers on all those numbers which are given in question, and then we will subtract them. In the same way, we can perform product, or you can say multiplication. That will be called estimated product. So to estimate product, example is 980 multiplied with 1286 or 1286. When it is not mentioned in question that you need to estimate to nearest 100, nearest 1000 or nearest 10, till then we will estimate it to nearest, as this is a 980, so we will estimate it as 1000, because we know 980 is near to 1000, and this 1286 to 1300. Yes, this 980 lies between 900 and 1000, and this is more than 950, so it is near 1000, so it is estimated to 1000. And this 1286 is lying between 1200 and 1300 and it is greater than 1250, so it will be estimated as 1300. Then we will do the product of 1000 multiplied with 1300. It can easily be multiplied. So this becomes 13 lakh. So this estimation makes calculations easy for large numbers. Here the topic of estimation has been done. Moving on to next topic. That is use of brackets. We all know BODMAS or BEDMAS. In this we have this B for bracket. But while solving questions, we do not give importance to this bracket and make so many mistakes. Let's understand. If we have let's take this example. 6 plus 7 multiplied 10. There are two ways to solve it or calculate it. One student can do 6 plus 7, it is 30, multiply 10. So his answer is 130. Another student can multiply 7 and 10 first. So it will be 6 plus 70 and then 76. So we can see question is same but answers are different for two students or two persons solving them in two different ways. This is because there is no bracket in the question. If I had marked these brackets, so both of them will get a same answer. Because this bracket means we need to solve these two numbers which are inside bracket at first. We will first add 6 plus 7 and then we will multiply the sum of 6 plus 7 to 10. So this is the use of bracket. It helps us in simplifying the calculation, plus it helps to identify which numbers are to be solved first. This bracket helps in calculating numbers systematically. Let's take example how it can make calculation easy. Example is 7 multiplied with 109. It is a big multiplication, but bracket can help us to simplify this. We can write it down as 7 multiply 109 can be written as 100 plus 9 within brackets. Now when we open this bracket or expand this bracket, what we will do? We will multiply this 7 to this 100 first, plus 7 multiplied to 9. Whenever there is a bracket and any number outside which needed to be multiplied or any operation with it, so we will multiply that number with each and every number inside bracket. So I multiplied 7 with 100 also and 7 with 9 also. Now we have 7 multiply 100, it is 700, and 7 multiply 9, it is 63. So answer is 763. Isn't it easy? rather than multiplying 7 to 109. So this way, expansion of bracket and bracket helps us in calculations. So we should always remember whenever any question comes with bracket, so this bracket is our priority. We need to solve it at first, and after that we can do other calculations. And this way we can write any number within brackets, and that can help us in easy down our calculations. Next we have Roman numerals. We understood Indian number system, international number system of writing numbers. There is another way also to write numbers, which is Roman numerals or Roman number system. We all know in Roman numerals, 1 is written as I. These Roman numerals are always written in form of alphabets. But there are some rules for writing numbers in Roman numerals. This one is written as I, 2 is written as 2 I's, 3, this is 3, and 4, I and B, and so on. Like 5 as B, 6. Now there are some points for writing Roman numerals. First point is no same alphabet comes 4 times together. Means as we are writing 1 as I, in 2 what we did? We repeated this I for 1 more time. In 3 we repeated this I for another 1 more time. So this becomes 3 I's. But for 4 we had not written four I's all together, because this is a rule of Roman number system. No same alphabet can come 4 times together. So you cannot write any Roman numeral 4 times all together like this. For 4 we write it as I and B. Second point, any Roman numeral less than the other one, when written at left hand side, it gets subtracted. Less number written on left of higher number it get subtracted. This V is for 5, but we are writing it also in 4 with 1 I on left hand side of this V. So when this I comes before or on left side of this V, that means it is 5 minus 1, which is equal to 4. So the less number I is less than 5, less number written on left of higher number. So this less number is written on left of higher number. Higher number is V, which is 5, and I is the lesser number, that is 1. So it is written on left hand side of the higher number. So it gets subtracted from the higher one. So 5 minus 1 become 4. In the same way, when less number is written on right hand side or on right of higher number, it get added to it. You can see in 6 also we are using V and I, but this time I is written on the right side of V. So this is 5 plus 1 and it becomes 6. These are the main Roman numerals. I for 1, V for 5, X for 10, L for 50, C for 100, D for 500, M for 1000. Now there are some another points also. These numerals L, B and D can never be repeated. Which means this cannot be written as, any number cannot be written as VB, LL or DD. This is wrong. Because these alphabets can never be repeated. And these L, V and D can never be subtracted so we cannot write them on left side of any number. So this L, V and D are special numerals which can never be repeated and can never be subtracted, so they cannot be written down on left hand side of any number. That means writing V on left hand side of any number or D on any left hand side of any number, this is wrong. This cannot be written down as any number because these numbers, these alphabets have the property that they can never be subtracted. So we cannot write them on left side of any number. We should keep these points while writing any number in Roman numerals. Let's take one example. If we need to write down 1984 in Roman numbers, so how we will write it? This is 1000. So for 1000 we have M. Then we have 900. So for 900 we need to subtract 100 from 1000. So for that we will write down CM. The CM is, C is 100, M is 1000. So 100 minus 1000, this is 900. Then we have 80. For 80 we will write L, X, X, X. L is 50, this X is 10, 50 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. This is 80. And then we have 4. So this is how we can write any number. So here we finish our chapter number 1. Thank you.